The psychology of people who see a problem and cannot walk away. There is a specific kind of person who walks into a room and immediately notices what is broken. Not because they were looking for it. Not because anyone asked them to. But because their mind simply does not allow them to see the world the way everyone else does. While others move through life registering what is pleasant, what is comfortable, what is easy, this person registers what is wrong, what is misaligned, what is waiting to be fixed. And they cannot, no matter how hard they try, simply walk away. But this isn't really about fixing things. It never was. What looks like a practical habit, a useful skill, a professional instinct, is actually something far deeper. It is a window into the architecture of a mind that was built, long before adulthood, to find order in chaos, to impose structure on uncertainty, to make the broken world whole again. And understanding why this happens, why some people are simply incapable of ignoring a problem, reveals something profound not just about engineers, builders, and mechanics, but about the human experience itself. Psychologists have studied what they call a high internal locus of control, the belief, deeply embedded in a person's identity, that outcomes in life are the result of personal action rather than external circumstance. People with a strong internal locus of control do not wait for someone else to fix what is wrong. They do not assume the problem will resolve itself. They operate from a quiet but unshakable conviction that if something is going to change, it will change because they made it change. And this belief, formed early in life, shapes everything. How they work, how they think, how they see a cracked wall, a misaligned beam, a failing system, and feel, almost physically, the pull to intervene. This is not stubbornness. This is not obsession, though it can look like both from the outside. This is a brain that was trained, through years of experience and perhaps through necessity, to treat unsolved problems as personal responsibilities. And once that wiring is in place, it does not simply turn off when you leave the job site. Think about the person who cannot sit through a family dinner without noticing the uneven table leg and quietly folding a napkin beneath it. Think about the engineer who drives past a construction site on his day off and spends the next hour mentally recalculating the load distribution of a structure he has no professional connection to. Think about the builder who visits a friend's home and cannot stop his eyes from drifting to the settling crack in the corner of the ceiling. These people are not being difficult. They are not performing competence. They are simply living inside a mind that was built to solve. And the truth, the slightly uncomfortable truth, is that this compulsion was almost never chosen. It was shaped. Often it began in childhood, in homes where things broke and nobody came to fix them, in environments where a young mind learned, through repetition and consequence, that waiting for someone else to solve the problem was a form of surrender. And so they stopped waiting. They started watching. They started learning. They started building the internal framework that would, years later, make them the person in the room who notices what everyone else walks past. There is a concept in cognitive psychology called pattern recognition, the brain's ability to identify familiar structures within complex or chaotic information. In most people, this skill is general, diffuse, applied broadly across social situations, language, faces, and experience. But in people who cannot walk away from a problem, pattern recognition has been trained with extraordinary precision toward the physical world. Toward systems, toward structures, toward the gap between how something is and how it should be. Their brains do not simply see a bridge, they see the forces acting on it. They do not simply see a wall, they see the moisture behind it. They do not simply see a machine, they see the sequence of failures that is quietly building toward a breakdown that has not happened yet. This is why they cannot walk away. Because walking away to a mind like this is not neutral. It is not simply choosing not to act. It feels, at a level below conscious thought, like a small betrayal of something fundamental. Like choosing disorder over order. Like accepting that the world is allowed to be broken when you have the capacity to make it whole. And yet there is something deeply human in this that goes beyond skill and beyond profession. Because at the core of every person who cannot walk away from a problem is a belief. Quiet, rarely spoken, sometimes not even consciously understood. That the world is worth fixing, that effort matters, that the gap between what is and what could be is not something to be accepted but something to be closed. This is not a technical belief. It is a philosophical one. It is, in its own way, a form of hope. The person who stops to fix the broken thing is making a statement about the nature of reality. They are saying, through action rather than words, that problems are not permanent, that systems can be improved, that what is falling apart can be made whole. And they are willing to be the one who does the work to prove it, not for recognition, not always for reward, but because the alternative, walking past, looking away, accepting the broken state of things, is simply not something their mind knows how to do. So the next time you find yourself stopping when everyone else keeps moving, noticing what no one else noticed, feeling that pull toward the problem that was not yours to solve, do not mistake it for a burden. Do not apologize for the way your mind works, because what you are experiencing is not an inconvenience. It is a rare and quietly powerful way of being in the world. The real question is not why you cannot walk away from a broken thing. The real question is this: what would the world look like if more people couldn't?